Her billionaire parents treated her like a princess, but what she discovered made her blood run cold. Bella had never been outside, not once. For 22 years, her world had ended at four walls and the roof of her parents' mansion at Ikoyi. Beyond them, life was only a rumor. She didn't know what it felt like to be in a crowded Lagos market under the burning sun, how beautiful the rainbow is after a storm, or the colors of downfall buses, yellow and loud, pushing through the smallest space they could find. The only people she knew were the guards and maids whose primary job was to watch her. Her parents said it was for her safety. Lagos is dangerous. Better you stay inside where we can protect you, her father would always say, his voice flat, final. So she stayed. Tutors came to the house. Meals were placed gently on her table by maids who never lingered. Once a month, Dr. Adeyemi arrived, his shoes polished, his smile tight, drawing her blood, checking her body, scribbling notes she never saw. Her mother rarely spoke to her, and when she did, it was never about Bella. "Have you taken your vitamins?" she would ask. Her father was worse. He looked at her the way people look at property, valuable but replaceable. Bella turned 22, understanding one thing clearly. She was old enough to live her own life. But every time she asked, the answer never changed. Soon, her parents said, when you are ready. Bella was beginning to understand that soon meant never. But everything changed the night of her 22nd birthday. As usual, no cake, no candles, no celebration. Just another silent day behind the gates. That night, Bella lay awake, staring at the ceiling, trying to listen for unfamiliar sounds beyond the walls. Sometime around 2 a.m., voices drifted up from downstairs, her father's study. Bella slipped out of bed and crept toward the staircase, her bare feet careful against the cold floor. The study door was closed, but not enough. She heard her father first. She's ready now, 22 years and fully developed. Her mother's voice followed, tight and nervous. "And Eleanor, does she know?" Then a third voice came, calm, familiar. "Dr. Adeyemi, Eleanor is stable for now, but we can't wait much longer. The match is perfect." Bella's heart skipped. Her father spoke again. "Then we proceed. 3 weeks from today." "I still don't feel right about this," her mother whispered. "We've come too far," her father said sharply. "This is why we did everything, for Eleanor." Her mother, still not at ease, asked again, "What if the surgery goes wrong?" Her father only smiled and held her, reassuring her that everything would work out. Bella clamped her hand over her mouth. Her knees weakened. What surgery? Who is Eleanor? She backed away slowly, silently, then ran to her room. She didn't sleep. She couldn't. She sat on her bed, questions running wild in her head until the sun rose. By morning, Bella sat playing with her breakfast, alone on the dining table, like always. Her parents were barely home. Maria, the only maid she was allowed to communicate with, noticed immediately. "You're not eating," she said gently. "What's wrong?" Bella looked up at her. Maria had raised her, bathed her, comforted her when nightmares came. She was the only warmth in the house. "Auntie Maria," Bella whispered, "who is Eleanor?" Maria froze. "I don't know," she replied, looking very uncomfortable. "I heard them last night. Please, tell me," Bella pleaded. Maria looked at the young woman before her with pity in her eyes, and she just walked away. Bella understood immediately the weight of the matter. Her stomach turned and her food seemed to make it worse. That night, Bella waited until the light went off, until the house slept. Not minding the cameras in the house, she walked into her father's study, one of the rooms she was not allowed to enter. The door was surprisingly unlocked. The room smelled of leather and secrets. She searched the drawers until her fingers found a folder, the same one she had seen her father holding. Her name was on it. Beside her name was written Subject B12. Her hands trembled as she opened it. Blood tests, genetic reports, photos of a girl that looked beautiful, but thinner, pale, like she was fading. On the back of one photo, Eleanor Anderson, age 24, end-stage kidney failure. She kept reading. Adoption documents, compatibility tests, 99.7 HLA match. Then the final page. Donor kidney transplant. Donor, Bella Anderson. Subject B12. Recipient, Eleanor Anderson. Date, 3 weeks from today. Bella's breath left her body. She now understands. She wasn't a daughter. She was an insurance, a backup, a mere spare part. Eleanor had a rare blood type. It was hard finding a match, and when they finally did, they kept her hidden, healthy, untouched by the world, waiting for the moment her body could be taken apart. And if anything went wrong, she could lose her life. She took photos, returned the folder, walked back to her room like a ghost. 3 weeks, that was how much time she had. To make a plan, she had to leave. That evening, she found Maria in the kitchen. "I know," Maria said softly before she spoke, understanding what she was about to ask. "I just need you to look the other way," Bella whispered, her eyes holding a mixed emotion of fear and confusion. Maria nodded slowly. The cameras reset at 12 a.m., 3 minutes. The back gate lock is old. The guards usually take a very short break. Be careful. Bella smiled weakly, hope in her eyes. That night, Bella packed a small bag, one dress, her phone, and since her parents were not home, she had the chance to scoop their room for any cash she could find. At 12:01, she moved. Maria had given her a spare key. The lock resisted, but Bella was determined, and finally the gate creaked open. And for the first time in her life, Bella stepped into Lagos. The air was loud. The night smelled of rain, fuel, and freedom. After walking for a while, somewhere in the distance, a bus horn blared. She smiled through her tears. The city would finally know her name. But was she really free?
Lagos at 2 a.m. was not what Bella expected. Even at that hour, the city was awake. Generators hummed behind closed gates. Music drifted from distant houses. The air carried the smell of suya, petrol, and rain-soaked roads. Bella walked fast, her small bag pressed tightly to her chest. She didn't know where she was going. She only knew she had to keep moving. Far away, anywhere but back. When she reached the main road, a keke napep slowed beside her. "Sister, where you dey go?" Bella froze. Her mind went blank. "Just anywhere," she said softly. "Far from here." The rider studied her face, then her shaking hands. When he saw the cash, he nodded. "Enter." He dropped her somewhere at Ojuelegba. Even at 3 a.m., people were everywhere. Early risers starting their day. Lagos never truly slept. She stood alone at the bus stop. For the first time in her life, Bella was free. And for the first time, freedom terrified her. Bella found a small hotel in Ojuelegba, the kind that didn't ask questions if you paid cash. "How many nights?" the man asked. "Just one." She ended up staying for 3 days. She barely left the room, too afraid to be seen, too afraid they would find her. On the 4th day, she forced herself outside. She took a bus, then another one. She wasn't going anywhere specific. She was trying to disappear into Lagos, to become invisible. Every day was hard. She didn't know how to bargain, didn't know which streets were safe, didn't know who to trust. She was cheated, she was confused, she was scared. But she was learning. And with every day that passed, she felt a little braver. 1 week after she ran away, something strange happened. The old phone, the one she kept switched off out of fear, suddenly came on by itself. Bella stared at it. Then it rang. Her father's name filled the screen. Her body went cold. Should she throw it away? Should she run? But she answered. "Hello, Bella." His voice was calm, normal, as if nothing had happened. How did you? It doesn't matter how, he said gently. What matters is that you are safe. That's all we ever wanted. Bella's heart raced. I saw the files, she said. I know about Eleanor. A pause. I see, her father said. And where are you now? I'm not telling you. That's fine, he replied. We're not looking for you. She frowned. What? Eleanor received a donor. Someone else was a match. She is recovering well. Bella felt weak. Then, why did you call? To tell you that you are free now, he said. You can live your life. We won't bother you again. It sounded too easy. I don't believe you. He made a sound that might have been a laugh. Believe whatever you like, he said. Goodbye, Bella. The call ended. Bella stood still, staring at the phone. Was it true? Was she really free? She didn't know. But she knew one thing. She was never going back. 2 weeks passed. Bella found work washing plates at a small restaurant in Yaba through the help of a reception attendant she met at one hotel she stayed. The pay was poor, but it was enough for a bed in a shared flat. She cut her hair, changed how she dressed, learned how to blend in. Every day she watched over her shoulder, waiting to be caught, waiting to be dragged back. But no one came. Maybe her father had told the truth. Maybe Eleanor was really recovering. Maybe she was finally free. She wanted to believe it. But late at night, alone in her room, she felt it. That quiet sense of being watched. She pushed the thought away. She had escaped. She had survived. Somewhere in a boardroom, men in expensive suits sat around a long table, all eyes fixed on a large screen. On the screen, a map of Lagos. A red dot moved slowly through the streets of Yaba. Text appeared beside it. Subject B12, location, active. Mr. Anderson sat at the head of the table, scrolling through data on his tablet. How long has she been out? 1 week, Mr. Anderson replied. And her adaptation? Better than subject B11, he said calmly. She's walking, learning the city, starting to trust people. Another man leaned forward. The donor story, he said. She still believes it. Completely, Mr. Anderson smiled. She thinks she escaped. She thinks she won. And Eleanor? There is no Eleanor. There never was. The files were created for her to find. Silence filled the room. So phase 1 was a success. Yes, Mr. Anderson said. 22 years of isolation, controlled environment, psychological dependence. And phase 2? Mr. Anderson gestured to the screen. Now we observe how someone raised in captivity adapts to freedom. How they love, how they choose, how they survive, believing they escaped. He tapped his tablet. The implant is still active. Location, heart rate, stress levels. How long will phase 2 last? 5 years. One man smiled. The data alone will be worth billions. Mr. Anderson looked at the screen, at Bella, walking through Yaba with groceries, tired, smiling. She thinks she is free, he said quietly, and that's what makes this perfect. The screen switched to live feed. Mr. Anderson stood. Gentlemen, he said, phase 2 is now active.